If you have spent any time around crochet videos, patterns, or even social media, you've probably heard people talk about tension. We certainly already have talked about tension. I am Lindsay with Off the Beaten Hook, and in this lesson, I am going to show you exactly what tension is, what affects it, how to control it, and why it's completely normal for your tension to change as you are learning. This lesson is part of my Learn to Crochet series where we are building our crochet skills step by step from the very beginning all the way through making your very first crochet projects and beyond. So if you're just joining us, you will find the complete series linked in the lesson notes. Now, beginners often hear that word tension and assume it's some sort of complicated technique that they need to master before they can crochet well. But the truth is that tension is actually a very simple concept. So let's take a closer look at what tension actually means in crochet. I am using a worsted weight yarn paired with a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook for this lesson. Now, worsted weight yarn will work great with a 5 millimeter crochet hook, a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, or a 6 millimeter crochet hook. So any one of these that you have on hand will work completely fine paired with your worsted weight yarn. I am also going to be using 2 non-locking stitch markers, and these we're going to use to mark our first and last stitches of all of our rows as we make our way through this swatch. So go ahead and grab your hook and grab your yarn and let's get going. Crochet tension is simply how tight or how loosely you hold your hook and work your yarn while crocheting. So I worked up 3 little chains of 15 chains in each of these little examples. These 3 chains were made with the exact same yarn and the exact same crochet hook size. 5.5 millimeter crochet hook with worsted weight yarn. And you can see how your tension affects the size of your stitches. So this one right here was made with a tight tension. Your tight tension makes your stitches smaller. This one in the middle here was made with an average tension. And this one on top was made with a very loose tension. Again, all the same number of chains, all the same type of yarn, and all the same size of hook. So neither of these extremes is usually ideal. You're shooting for an average sized tension in order for you to make the pattern in the way that it was designed, and also just for hand comfort and to avoid hand fatigue. We're looking for just a nice, comfortable tension. Now, there are several factors that can affect your tension, and we're going to talk about the top 3. Number 1 is how you're tensioning your yarn with your hand as you're making your stitches. And in other words, this is how much yarn you're allowing to be pulled through and used as you crochet. Now, I know that we haven't made it this far yet as far as learning all of our stitches, but I needed to work up a little swatch of a half double crochet in order to show you the example that I'm going to use to teach you this first concept. So there are 3 types of crocheters in this regard. You're either going to be a yanker, a rider, or a lifter when it comes to the golden loop. And I know that was a lot of new words, so let's demonstrate what this actually means. So when you are making your crochet stitches, you're inserting your hook and you're grabbing your yarn and you're pulling up this loop. This is the final loop that you're going to pull up before you do your final yarn over and pull through and complete your stitch. Okay, and so when you pull up that final loop, this loop right here, this loop right here is called the golden loop. And this golden loop is what dictates the height of your stitch. And going back to what we were talking about with the yanker, the rider, and the lifter, a yanker pulls down with a tighter tension on that golden loop, yanking down. And when you yarn over and you pull through that final loop, your stitch is going to end up being shorter because this final leg is going to be shorter, pulling your stitch down. Now, if you're a rider, you are pulling up your loop and you're kind of just riding your hook on top of the line of stitches here. Okay, so you're not yanking it down, you're pulling it up and you're riding your hook right on top of your stitches, and you're yarning over and you're pulling through to complete your stitch. And you can see here how this one has a much shorter golden loop on this leg than the rider does right here. Finally, if you are a lifter, you're pulling up that golden loop and you are lifting it higher. So your hook sort of ends up being angled up. You're lifting that higher than the other loops that are on your hook. And you end up pulling through with your final stitch. And that leg, that golden loop leg, ends up being a lot taller. So you can see these three all in a row. Here you're a yanker. Here you're a rider. This is average. This is kind of what we're shooting for, but again, we'll talk about in a minute how there's not necessarily anything wrong with either, but this is kind of your ideal. And then you're a lifter if you're making your stitch this high. So I have completed a few swatches here for you to see how this looks side by side. These were all made using worsted weight yarn and a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. These are all swatches of 15 half double crochet stitches in the height of 5 rows. This here was a yanker. This here in the middle is a rider, and this one here is a lifter. And this is, even though this differences look a little bit subtle in these little swatches, this is simply 15 stitches by 5 rows. This is a tiny little swatch, and you imagine how that will affect the ultimate size of your crochet project over the course of hundreds or thousands of stitches. This is going to dramatically affect the difference in sizes at the end result. So it's important for you to understand which one you are so that you know how that's going to affect your crochet project in the end. So I have all of them here also in this completed swatch. Down here I've done several rows of just regular, nice, even tension. And then all of a sudden up here we get to the end. Again, 15 stitches. These first 5 were done as a yanker. These middle 5 I did as a rider tension, and finally these last 5 I did with the lifter sort of tension. And you can just see how dramatic that difference is in the height of your stitches. Again, that is the golden loop, and this is just understanding the effect of tension on your crochet projects. Now the second factor that we're going to talk about here that affects your tension is how you hold your yarn. And we already talked about this. I've showed you how I hold my yarn, how I wrap it around my finger and bring it around like this. You will see different ways that people hold their yarn, and this allows me to bring through a certain amount of yarn as I'm working my project and gives me a nice even tension. This is what works for me. Now, if you wrap your yarn around more fingers than just one, or wrap your yarn around multiple times around your finger, this dictates how easy it is to pull yarn through your fingers as you work your project. The more wraps you have, the more obstacles your yarn has to go up against to get its way into your project. So the less wraps you have, the easier it will be for that yarn to make its way through your fingers. You'll see some people wrap around their pinky and then come through. Okay, this is going to give you a tighter tension because there's more wraps, there's more places for your yarn to rub up against. So that's number 2. This is how you hold your yarn. Number 3, the final one that we're going to talk about, is your hook size and how that affects your tension. The larger the hook, the looser your stitches will be. The smaller the hook, the tighter your stitches will be. If we look at a few hooks side by side here, we have a smaller hook here. This is a 3 millimeter. We have the 5.5 millimeter that we've been working with, and then this one is a 9 millimeter. And you can see by the different sizes of the shaft on these hooks, the tighter your stitches will be here with this tiny little shaft, and the bigger, looser your stitches will be with this bigger, looser hook. So if I were to pair a worsted weight yarn with this smaller hook, compared to pairing a worsted weight yarn with this larger hook, my stitches are going to be completely different sizes. So in this way, the hook size affects your tension. In the end, the two most common factors affecting your tension are how you hold your yarn and how much yarn you're pulling through with that golden loop. Of course, the best way to get your tension down is practice. Most tension issues improve naturally as your hands become more comfortable with the movements of crochet. What you really want is tension that feels comfortable and natural and becomes more consistent over time. And once you understand your tension and where you fall on that yanker, rider, or lifter scale, the better you'll understand why your tension may or may not match the tension of the designer of a pattern, and what to do to fix it to come closer to the gauge the designer is calling for in the pattern, because ultimately that will make the size of your project the way that it's supposed to turn out. So in today's lesson, you learned what crochet tension actually is, what affects it, how it impacts your stitches, and why consistency is more important than perfection. If your chains and stitches still feel a little awkward or inconsistent, that is completely normal. Every crocheter starts exactly where you are right now. Spend a little time practicing chains and paying attention to how your yarn moves through your fingers. Try making some chains loosely, some tightly, and some somewhere in between. Notice how those stitches change and start paying attention to what feels most comfortable in your hands. Now, I want to congratulate you on finishing Module 1 of this course. You have learned a lot over these past several lessons. You now understand the basic supplies you need, how yarn and hooks work together, how to hold your yarn and hook, how to create a slip knot and a chain stitch, and what crochet tension means. That is a strong foundation to build on. And in our next module, Module 2, we will start creating real crochet stitches and turning those chains into fabric. So I will see you there.